Let's start with the problem number 2. Here also it is necessary to compute what is the principal stresses at the centroidal axis and at the junction of the web with the bottom flange. Okay, a PSC beam having unsymmetrical eye section. Okay, it is unsymmetrical eye section. So this data is very much important. It is unsymmetrical eye section. Read the data carefully. Top flange width, bottom flange width, web data. Okay, read everything properly and write the sketch carefully. Cross section. So this is cross section of top flange width 2400, depth of the flange 400, 900 it is the thickness of the bottom flange, and 1200 mm it is the width of the bottom flange, 600 mm it is the thickness of the web, 1000 mm is the width depth of the web. And also this is one more additional data which is been specified here. It is nothing but it is having a stress distribution of 13 Newton per mm square, which is compression at the top edge. Okay, at the top edge, and it is linearly reducing to 0 at the bottom. Okay, so it is having 13 Newton per mm square at the top edge compression zone, and at the tensile face it reduces linearly, means straight line. So this is the resultant stress distribution. Okay, and shear force it is given as 2350 kilonewton. The most important thing here, it is necessary to calculate what is the depth of the neutral axis. What is the depth of the neutral axis, that is centroid, we have to calculate. So we know that generalized equation, it is a1 by 1 plus a2 y2 divided by a1 plus a2. Okay, y bar. So to compute what is the centroid, let us split this built-in section into 3 parts. Okay, 3 simple rectangle. So that is, this is one flange. Okay, so this is one web and this is one more bottom flange. So split this into 3 components carefully. So when you split this into 3 components, it is easy to compute the centroid. So let us start with first top flange. Okay, let us consider the reference axis as 1 1, that is at the bottom of the bottom flange. Okay, below the bottom flange. Okay, a1 is nothing but area of this rectangle 2400 into 500, and we are considering this centroid with respect to the bottom flange. Okay, here this is your centroidal axis. So from this centroid to this centroid, what is the distance, y bar? Okay, so that is nothing but 1900. We shall start at 900 plus 1000 plus centroid of the rectangular section, it is 400 by 2. 1000 plus 900 plus 2000 or 200 will give you 2100. Okay, next coming to the web portion, width of the web is 600, depth of the web is 400, and here we shall again start from the bottom. 900 plus 1000 divided by 2. 1000 divided by 2 is 500. 500 plus 900 will give you 1400. Okay, next we shall come to the last bottom flange. So area of this bottom flange, it is 900 into 1200. 900 divided by 2 is the centroid. So we will get what is the centroid with respect to the 1 1 axis. Okay, then you have to compute what is moment of inertia. It is a built-in section. Okay, you have to use the parallel axis theorem to compute the moment of inertia. If it is rectangular, you can directly use the standard formula BD cube by 12, but since it is a built-in section, I section, you have to use the parallel axis theorem, that is Ixx is equal to Ig plus AH square. Okay, so let us start here. So this is Ix, what I have written, this is Ig, this is your Ig value, and this is A, area. H is nothing but the distance of the centroid of the built-in section to the centroid of the splitted component or the individual component of the section. Okay, so area BD cuboid, you know that we have splitted this I section into 3 parts as a rectangular component. Moment of inertia as a rectangular component, it is BD cube by 12 plus area is this one 2400 into 400, and h square is nothing but the distance of the distance between the centroidal axis of the built-in section to the centroid of the considered section. So see, this is 1265 depth of the neutral axis from the bottom. So this 1034, it is the depth of the neutral axis from the top portion. Okay, so now we are calculating what is the distance between the centroidal axis and distance between this considered. So this is your centroidal axis of the top flange, and the distance between this reference line and the centroidal axis we have to compute. So how do we compute? So we can compute it easily. See, here you can see 634. So 634 we have computed as 1034 minus of this 400 distance will give you 634. 634 plus, so what is the centroid of the rectangle? It is 400 by 2. Therefore 634 plus 400 by 2 will give you the h square. That is what I have written here, 634 plus 200 whole square. Okay. Next, similarly for web also you have to compute, and you have to compute for the bottom flange also. Do it very much carefully. Okay, you will get the moment of inertia. Then principal stresses at the centroidal axis you have to consider. I have told you always we are solving this module 4 shear exclusively for the uncracked section. Therefore we are considering the portion which is available above the neutral axis. So the portion which is above this neutral axis is this much. Therefore only this portion we are considering. So that T section only we are considering. Same thing I have written here, T section. Okay, 2400 here it is 2400, depth it is 400, and 634 it is the computed depth of the web with respect to the centroidal axis, A into y bar. So area of this, it is 2400 to 400. So 400 divided by 2, it is this centroid with respect to the neutral axis plus this one. Okay, and next 600. So this portion, okay, next 634.10 divided by 2 will give you the first moment of area. Substitute everything in the shear equation. And we will get tau v value. Okay, you will get the tau v value. So next we have to estimate what is the principal stresses at the centroidal axis. What is the principal stresses at the centroidal axis? Okay, so how do we estimate the how do we find out the fx value at the centroidal axis? So this stress diagram we have considered. So this stress diagram, same stress diagram I have rewritten here. Okay, same stress diagram I have written here, but we are supposed to find out what is this. It is been given that at the compression phase it is stress, it is having a value of 13, and at the tension phase it is 0, but we need to find out what is the stress it is developing at its centroidal axis. Okay, so therefore we have considered here this triangle. Okay, so from the similar triangle, 13 divided by this total height, fx divided by this thing, we will get what is the stress at the centroidal axis. Okay, next substitute what is fx, fy it is 0 because there is no vertical cable. You will get what is the maximum stress and minimum stress. Okay, next second case is that you have supposed to find out what is the principal stresses at the junction of the web and the bottom. So this is your junction of the web. Okay, so this is your junction of the web where I have written this 1 axis. So this is your junction of the web. It is nothing but you are supposed to find out what is the fx value here. Before that you have to find out what is the first moment of area at this junction. Only this junction we are considering. At the junction is nothing but the position where the bottom flange and web is connected. So this is the position where the bottom flange and the web is connected. Okay, it is the position. Okay, you will get only for this particular portion you have to calculate what is the first moment of area. 1200 into 900 divided by 2 is the centroid plus this one, because with respect to the centroidal axis we have to compute always. Next, tau v, you calculate tau v. Next, at the junction means this height is 900. Okay, junction means this height is 900. You have to compute what is fx here. Compute fx by applying similar triangle. Then use the principal stress equation to compute what is sigma max and sigma minimum. That's it.